Hey, it's PHILA. You're watching PHILA TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera and a dude with another barn find. All right, you remember me telling you about my 64 Dodge Max Wedge barn find that I bought from Bob Johnson. Well, this gentleman also had another car laying around. This was a 63 big block, 383 car. I was pretty stoked when I saw it. It was something that he dragged around, took it to the street races and drag races and stuff. But we worked the deal out, and I decided I was going to take it home. It had been sitting in the backyard for many years with the window down. So it was, pretty dirty. Critters were living in it. And like all of his cars, it was packed full of parts. The dash, was all there. It was pretty clean. Just needed a little scrubbing. The motor was there. Parts of it had taken it apart. And I don't know what exactly he was working on, but we worked the deal out. I put it up on the trailer. I got it home and started playing with it. So the car had a, 8 3/4 rear end. It had dual turbo mufflers on it, dual exhaust. It seemed to be the real deal, but I never ran into the serial numbers to see what exactly it came with. But the trunk was full of parts, like all of his cars. I got it home and I started cleaning it up, hosed it down at the car wash. And, it didn't look so bad. I kind of liked the brown. It was a little different, but the car had been painted many times. It was blue, it was white, it was lime green, it was dark blue. I just had to do something about that. So I was going to put the motor together since it was all there, but, the engine compartment was pretty ratty. So, even though this car had a nice headliner, in fact, it was one of the nicer headliners from a barn find that I have come across, because normally, they're rat's nests. I kind of wanted to clean this thing up and make it a little bit more presentable. The back seat also filled full of parts because that's just how he was. Dash, I wiped it down a little bit and it looked pretty good. But my wife was pretty worried because, we were getting ready to move in about a month and I couldn't have a car like this with my other old cars sitting in the driveway. And like I said, this thing had like 5 paint jobs on it when I got it. So I wasn't worried about throwing a primer job over it just to kind of cover it up and make it all one color. And that was going to be my goal. I just couldn't have it sitting here, with homeowners association would have been all over me. So, I dug through all the parts that I had laying around and some of the parts that I got inside the car and that I got from him. And I was able to get, quite a bit of what I needed to get it put together. But again, the color was just, wasn't something I was going to work with. So I was going to just primer it, a color, brown or black or white or whatever. So I decided on primering it white because like I said, I wanted to get the car put together and it just didn't make any sense to make it all assembled, but then just have it, 3 different colors. So I was toying with the idea. You see, I came up with the bumpers. I came up with the grill, and I did like the way it looked. I would have liked to keep it that way, but there was no way I could. So I cleaned out the trunk, scrubbed it down, primered it, Zola-toned it, painted the engine compartment, painted the motor, and I was going to start assembling the car. So that's my idea. I was going to primer the thing all the way across, which I wound up doing, and I was happy with it. It didn't look the best, but like I said, it's better than 3 different colors, and my neighbors wouldn't have liked that none too much. So I started putting the motor together, had all the parts for it. Even found the taillights for it. I found the black license plate that was in the car, which was pretty cool. And I got it all primered, painted the wheels, put it together, and it was good enough. Cleaned the dash a little bit more. It was presentable. Notice it had blue rubber mats in it, which was kind of cool. So the dash, like I said, nice and clean. But it was about time that, I cleaned up the interior. So I had these bucket seats. I painted the back seat to match it black, and it worked out pretty well. Looked a little bit more presentable sitting on the driveway. I knew that I wouldn't get into too much trouble. The motor ran pretty good. Got all the parts for it, put it together, drove around the block. I was pretty happy with it. Looked not too bad. I put some slotted wheels on it, made it look a little nicer. But it wasn't something I was able to keep because I had, a few other cars as well. Because I had 2 other 64 Dodges that, and I knew I couldn't keep everything. So I had to let it go. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. It's another one of my little barn finds. 63 Dodge I was stoked to have, but I had to get rid of it. So If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and look for me on Instagram. Thanks.